With any city that you are living in or any city that you move to, you are always going to have problems, issues. There's always going to be something that you don't like about that city. And every city has its ups and downs. Some cities has its ups and then downs. Some cities has its downs and ups. And LA is just one of those cities where you just can't quite put your finger on everything because there's a lot of things that's going on out here. Todd and Tasha, welcome to the Todd and Tasha podcast right here in the city of Los Angeles. This topic is not really an easy topic to talk about. We need to be very transparent with you guys and just kind of let you know what's happening, because some of you guys may be considering moving out here to this city. And we do love Los Angeles. We love living in California. But again, there's a lot of things that we don't like about it. And we don't want to just bring videos to you and just tell you about everything that we love about living in the city, all the good stuff. We want to make sure that we are totally honest with you and let you know that there are several things that is just not quite jiving out here.
Right. I agree. And I mean, oh my gosh, it irks me because you're just like, oh, why don't they quote unquote fix this or whatever? But we'll get into that.
This is what's really going on. Now, you guys all across the United States of America should be fully aware by now that there is a major homeless crisis out here. Mm. We can say all day long, have compassion for the homeless, which we should have compassion for the homeless.
Right.
There is a caveat to that. They, not all of them, but a lot of them, a lot of them are literally tearing our city up. They are tearing our city up. So there's so many times we walked outside, I walked outside, going for a walk or going shopping, whatever the case may be. Out here, there's many apartment complexes, there's high rises all over the place. And I'm talking like $12,000 a month.
Yeah, exactly.
Right outside these luxury apartments, you have garbage cans completely emptied out on the street, on the sidewalk, just littered all over the sidewalk, where it's just tons and tons of trash, where it reminds me of the garbage dump site where waste management goes and they dump their waste from the trucks at. It looks like a dump site. There's some days, there's some mornings, there's some afternoons where it's even worse than it was before.
I agree. And exactly what Todd said. Like the other day we were talking and I was just like, here it is. We're walking from the store. We're dodging the poop. And you see these trash cans. Some of them are overflowing. Some of them are emptied out, like Todd said. And yet this city, has the audacity to charge all this money for rent. And it's just like, I mean, come on. I get it. We're paying for quote unquote access. We're paying for the luxury, I guess you would call it, of beaches and warm weather. Like right now, I mean, come on. We can't even argue that the weather is still beautiful and it's September. But again, I mean, it's almost like, okay, what cost though? Like at what cost is it too much and it's just too ridiculous to even fathom anymore?
The big issue with the trash being all over the place, things have gotten so much worse since like 2014, 15, 16. It's gotten so much worse. So we're talking like poop, human poop,
Yeah.
all up and down the sidewalk. Not just one stationary place, but we're talking like all up and down the sidewalk to where there's the beginning of it, a big pile of, the world would say, horse, okay? And someone will actually step in it by mistake. So they walk for umpteen ages, and you can see their footprints, just footprints, all up and down the street. It's just absolutely nasty. So you're ducking and dodging, weaving in and out. It's almost like you're on a freeway. And you're weaving in and out of the poop, in and out, weaving in and out, in and out, in and out. It's absolutely terrible, and it's disgusting, and it's actually frustrating.
It is frustrating. Every time we come in, we have to mop the floor because, like maybe we are pulling the kids rather, in the wagon or the stroller and stuff, and it's like the wheels. So you gotta mop the floor. You gotta, like, every single time the wheels have to be cleaned off. It's just ridiculous.
Exactly. This is what I don't understand. It's bad enough you have people out here that are homeless. You have a lot of the mentally ill people out here that really don't have it all upstairs. And I'm not trying to make fun of them or anything, but it's just the truth. They don't have it all upstairs.
And yeah.
But you have that factor, that spectrum of issues going on with that crowd. Again, with the homeless, the mentally ill, all of that. But the thing that really bothers me about this city being trashed more and more and more is that you always hear about the homeless, the mentally ill trashing the place. When in fact, the people that are really trashing it just as much or even greater are people who live here.
Exactly.
We were walking down the street. We just see people that live here, random people, and they're eating something, whatever, and when they're finished, they just throw the trash right on the ground, like they don't care. They just throw right, or they're driving, and they just throwing a ton of trash just out their car.
Yeah.
California license plate. They're throwing it out of the car. It's annoying. It's very irritating. It's out of control. If you ever see somebody, even in where you live at, you see someone littering, throwing trash out the car, or walking throwing trash out, that's saying a lot about that person. That is saying a whole heck of a lot about that person, because if that person does that, littering, throwing trash out on the ground,
what does their house look like?
What does their house look like? What type of person are they? How clean are they really? And if you're looking for somebody to date, who wants to be with somebody like that? They act like this earth is a garbage can. Just litter. That is a huge pet peeve of ours. People littering.
Yeah, and it's it's sad because again, the mentally ill individuals, like, bless their hearts, they're being taken advantage of. And, the programs, quote unquote programs, that exist to supposedly help them obviously are not working. And I'm totally understand that, hey, people have to, exercise free will. Either they're going to do the programs or not and all this other stuff. But quite frankly, I feel like the powers that be, so to speak, if they really wanted to do something about, the homeless crisis, meaning if they really wanted to help the people, they would do it. I mean, it's just like, it would get done. I just don't agree with, oh, well, we can't do anything because they don't want to participate. You haven't made it enticing enough for them to even want to participate. That's how I feel. And I gather that from sources that work in that field, and how the programs are run is just like, It's enablement, basically.
You have to wonder, what in the world is California doing? What is LA doing? Here it is. California has the fifth largest economy with five. Is it 15 or five? I don't even remember. 5 billion or 15? No, is it $15 billion surplus? Please forgive me if my numbers are wrong, but I know billions of dollars of surplus. That's why California is always giving us stimulus checks. Every time I turn around, they're giving us stimulus checks. So the fifth largest economy in the world, California. Los Angeles, the third largest economy in the world in terms of whatever city behind Tokyo and New York.
Right.
Guys, this city, rich.
Yep.
This place is rich. Trust me. They have so much money. They make so much money a day. I don't even know the numbers, the figures, but Los Angeles, California, they make so much money each and every day that they make so much money. They have so much money that they can take care of this homeless situation and the mentally ill out here.
Right. And that's the thing, again, if they really wanted to do something, they would. And another part of that is, let's talk about it as far as the housing when it comes to, getting these individuals. I have to say these precious individuals housed, because it really like touches a quote unquote nerve of mine to see people on the street. Like, I'm in 2022, it should not be the case. I don't feel it should be the case.
I mean, it should be getting better, especially after that. The courts said that LA County needs to take care of their homeless situation by that October deadline, and that was last October. Here's
the thing, like I was looking at a documentary actually about this situation, about here, and of course obviously San Francisco is terrible as well. And here's the thing, the laws that are in place as far as housing, as far as building and all that, are just so screwed that it takes forever to even get anything accomplished to help people to get housed, because they can't even freaking build. They need type of places for them to even get housed. And then, of course, the programs that exist once they have the housing available, again, they're not favorable a lot of times to these people.
It's just really a shame, because the homeless crisis, the mentally ill, all of that has gotten way out of hand. It's bad enough that you have to be concerned with regular, I'm not even going to use the word regular, but you have to watch out for people who try to hurt you, who try to take your life, who try to rob you and everything else. Then you have to be concerned and watch your back for the mentally ill, the homeless people. And unfortunately, too many things have happened to regular people. So one example, not too long ago, it was, I believe, a Thursday evening. And this gentleman had just got off work. He was talking on the phone to his brother. They were actually FaceTiming each other. He was really excited because he got off work early, and he had big plans for his wife. They were going to spend a nice weekend, a long weekend together. But he had, I guess, secret plans, special plans for his wife. So he's on a FaceTime talking with his brother. While he was talking to his brother on FaceTime, this random homeless, mentally ill guy came out and just stabbed him in the neck and took his life right there on FaceTime in front of his brother.
Oh my gosh.
Then you had another young lady, only 19 years old. She was over in the neighborhood where Tasha and I used to live, a wonderful, beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah.
She was minding her own business, working at a store. Homeless guy comes in there. She texts her friend. She says, I don't feel right about this guy that just came in. Something about him, I just don't feel right. Lo and behold, he walked in the store. She was all by herself. He took a knife out and took her life.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Los
my gosh.
Angeles is not doing a thing about it at all. It's gotten so much worse. This downtown is dirty. Not just downtown, but a lot of the city is more and more trashy, more and more dirty. It's more becoming more and more dangerous because you still have a lot of these mentally ill people just hanging out. I've watched firsthand people on bikes and they ride by cars and then broad daylight.
Yep.
They smash open the window. They smash the window. They take whatever's in the car and they keep on going like it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. All the money that they have out here, they could do so much more at keeping this clean. I mean, they're doing all this construction and building. I mean, like even streets like Figueroa is going to be like really awesome. It's going to be like Times Square, or at least look like Times Square. All of these things that they're doing in Los Angeles and downtown and everywhere else, but they're not cleaning the city up. And here it is. We are going to be hosting the 2028 Summer Olympic Games right here in the city of Los Angeles, which we have not had Olympic Games since 1984.
Okay.
So what are they going to do? Wait till the last second to try to clean up a little bit? So what they're probably going to do, they're going to try to hide the homeless problem.
Exactly.
They're going to clean up the area where the Olympics are actually going to be at. So you guys that's living around the world, you won't be able to see how
See
trashy
the trash. Yeah.
it is really disgusting. And I think you were going to talk about the tagging and things like that.
I mean, even we've experienced increase in like the tagging of the buildings from, the whole gang situation. I mean, we've seen like, again, not just car windows getting busted out, but like buildings, the windows on the buildings getting smashed, like boarded up. I mean, even the Target that we what do you call it? Patronize. There we go. Recently their window was busted out, and I just was telling Todd the other day, I was just like, it's getting a little bit too much. It's getting a little bit too much down here, and I don't know, like, I don't like it, basically, and I just, something has to be done about this.
Even, it's not just LA, even Beverly Hills. Rodeo Drive, they're smashing and grabbing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it's
just
so
every
bad.
other day, it's a smash and grab robbery in Beverly Hills. It is absolutely just terrible. And there was a smash and grab, of course, recently on Broadway, because you have the jewelry district over in that area.
Right.
Broadway, and I believe the other street is, I want to say Hill, but that whole area over there, people are fighting back. You have more people fighting back. So now owners, they're arming themselves with weapons.
Yeah.
That's how bad it's gotten. They're arming themselves with weapons. They're fighting back now. Things has gotten really, really out of hand, and they really need to do something about it. And they're so worried about this C-19, everything else. We can get into a whole lot of stuff, but I'd rather not for the sake of this video. You have these politicians who are running the city, and they don't care about the city. They really don't care about the city. They just care about making money. Place is trashy. When we get a wind, it blows the trash up and down the streets. But yet they're building these skyscrapers, doing all this nice stuff, but it's just trash everywhere. And mentally ill people are just everywhere. I don't know. Again, we love California, we love LA. They need to do something about it ASAP. So
hopefully, as Todd said, hey, maybe the impetus, so to speak, for them to actually do something legitimate, real, and concrete is the Olympics. Maybe that'll be the turning point for them to say, you know what, okay, We have to get our stuff together, whatever the case may be. And sometimes you need a deadline. Okay, now granted they ignored the deadline as far as October, but since we're going to be in the quote unquote, not even national, worldwide spotlight, maybe, okay, that will be the thing that pushes this city forward. We'll see. And we'll keep you posted on that as far as that's concerned.
So you have people like, well, I'm not even I better not mention any names or anything like that. So, but again, if you are, again, thinking of moving out to LA, we're not trying to discourage you in terms of, okay, well, you better not come. We just want to just let you know that, like any other city, LA has its issues.
Yep.
4 million people, you're going to get way more problems. I mean, look at New York.
So we need strong leadership,
Yeah.
As far as that, and someone that really has a passion and a vision for the city, I feel, to really turn this around as well.
Exactly.
So,
and then it doesn't help the fact that you have so many people out here committing crimes, again, like the smash and grab robberies. Mm-hmm. Police catch up with them, arrest them, put them in jail, and the DA lets them right back on out. They're only in jail maybe even a day.
Wow.
Just keep letting these criminals back out.
Yeah, so again, we're going to pray for that. Like, seriously, strong leadership, people who actually have a passion and a vision for the city as far as positive. And I mean, like, this has got to turn around. Otherwise, literally, I mean, this will be like the greatest tanking of a city ever, because I just can't imagine that it will continue to fall like this. I just can't imagine. So we'll keep you guys posted. And of course, obviously, we want to hear your comments too. If you're here, if you're thinking of moving here, what do you, what do you think about this situation? What have you experienced, or what have you heard? And will this help you to make your decision in terms of like, hey, am I going to move there, or whatever the case? Let us know in the comment section below, of course. So that's all I have.
All right. Well, that's the good news we have today for city of Los Angeles. So
absolutely. So of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share all over social media. Send it out to somebody who is thinking about moving out here, or whatever the case, or check on somebody that you know that's out here and say, hey, what's going on? And of course, if you don't have social media, make sure that you share anyway.